So in this example, we're going to recover a physical machine into VMware using the system state backup. So I give the VM a name, I give it, obviously I choose which vCenter I wish to work with, and I populate the other two fields for where we're actually going to recover it into. I validate the CPU and memory, I validate the network settings are correct, I'm using DHCP. I validate that I'm recovering what I expect to recover, and when I'm happy with everything I see, I hit the submit button. At this point, Actifio will begin the system recovery job, and it will begin communicating with vCenter. Now, there are two ways to monitor the progress of this job. The first is with the Actifio system monitor. So I can see that I have a job running. It's currently at 19%, and that will auto refresh, and I can just continue to monitor it using that via view details to validate when it's completed and how long it takes. Obviously, the other thing I could do is instead I could cut across to VMware itself. So if I open up my vCenter, what I can see is that a new VM called test1 has been created, and that Actifio is currently working with that VM to perform the system recovery. So it's going to power the VM on, it's going to attach drives to it, and it's actually going to run a system recovery on that newly created VM called test1. So at this point I sit and wait, and when the job is ready, or the job is complete, I'll be ready to inspect it. You can see here the job has finished. It took 11 minutes. And if I cut across to the vCenter, I can see I have a new VM with an IP address. I can see the IP address. I'm now ready to log into that VM. So I open up my remote desktop, and here's the VM. Now, what I wanted to point out was the customizations. The bright orange Actifio background has been preserved. The fact that my Firefox is installed has been preserved. The customizations, such as Firefox being in the start menu, have been preserved. And if I start Firefox, what we can see is that it is the default browser, even though IE is also installed, and the setting to prompt for default is there. So what I'm just showing you is that a number of system state settings have all been preserved. We're now ready to use this recovered system inside VMware.